Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have Avani Gregg here with me. I am so grateful that she came in front of the camera with me to shoot a little makeup tutorial. We did a Adriana Lima inspired look today for you guys. It was a super like sultry gray smoky eye, and I'm so obsessed with it. I'm always so nervous to do Avani's makeup because she's such a talented artist herself. But if you guys want to see how I created this look, just keep on watching. So I went ahead and I prepped and primed Avani's face and eyes beforehand. So watch my other videos if you guys want to see what I did. But so I've been begging Avani to come on my YouTube channel. So thank God she had time today, my goodness. So we originally wanted to recreate one of the first looks that I've ever done her. So I first did her, I think I did your makeup like only like a few months ago.
Yeah.
But I was stalking her on Instagram and she hadn't moved to LA yet, and basically begging her to do her makeup, and cut to a few months later, I think we've worked together a handful of times now.
Yeah, a lot actually. I'm
taking this KKW palette in the color Granite. It's like a really cool tone gray. And I'm just taking, this is a Fenty brush, and just packing it on to the eyes. Like when you do your own eye makeup, when you're doing a super smoky eye, do you do your face first or do you do your eyes first?
Eyes first.
Yeah, I think I always like tend to get like fallout. So I try to do the eyes first so I can like blend out a little bit. I mean, so I can clean up around the eyes. Yeah. Do you like honestly just like take whatever you have like on your counter? I've been to your house, she has makeup drawers everywhere. Yeah. But do you just, I'm gonna do this too because you do such like crazy, like creative, over the top looks.
Yeah, I mean I usually don't plan out. Like when I'm doing crazy makeup, I plan it out beforehand. But when I do like regular makeup, I just sit down at whatever's in front of me. I don't even get stuff out of drawers. I just, whatever's in front of me, I just decide to use it.
So whatever's easy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do the same thing to this eye. I didn't put any powder on before because I really wanted most of the color to really stick onto the primer. And I'm just going in patting motions, really just trying to work the pigment onto the eyelids. And then I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and blend away. So now I am going to apply a little bit of stone. This is like a lighter gray, and I'm doing this more towards the crease. And this is gonna be like a really good transition color. I always like to start off with, like, whenever I'm doing a smoky eye, with like the darker color first, and then I'll go in with a lighter shade to kind of blend and diffuse out. And I try to find colors that are within the same family tone, just so that the smokiness can be like a really beautiful like gradient. So off camera, Avani was just educating me about life. I feel so old, but I need to start doing more YouTube videos, I think.
Yes, indeed.
Wait, so what kind of like videos do you do on your channel?
There's very, very few makeup ones, even though I
Wait, she was telling me that she doesn't like to edit her videos at all. She just likes to like let them run through. And for me, oh my God, I am like spending like 2 revisions, 3 revisions, 4 revisions, like writing these like whole like edits. And like, so my editor, like my editor probably hates me. And she's standing right in front of me right now, so she is just smiling and smirking at the same time. But I can't believe that like you just like, it's like more raw, right?
I guess it's like, I mean, like I take 5-10 minutes editing and then post it. So I mean, hopefully they like it, but I don't like talk too much either. So I guess it's just 10-minute quick videos. Guys,
tell me in the comments below, do my videos need to be shorter, and do I need to talk less?
Silent. Stay silent.
No talking. I'm gonna put a little powder on myself because I can't look ugly next to Avani.
Oh, you're not ugly. Shut it.
I depotted some of my powders and I put them like all together, but these don't actually come like this. So now that the eyeshadow, like the base of the eyeshadow is finished, I'm gonna put a little bit of a black eye kohl. So This one is from Victoria Beckham in the shade black, and I honestly like this is like one of my favorite eyeliners. But you guys can see that this is like a super creamy eyeliner. Now that I finished the eyeliner, I'm gonna take a little bit of this black shadow from the KKW palette, and I'm gonna have you close your eyes. And I'm just using a My Kitco brush. And I'm just gonna basically just stamp a little bit of a black shadow on just to further deepen the black liner that I just smudged out. And I love this black because it's like super black. And by adding a little shadow, it's gonna make you be able to like diffuse this liner a little bit easier. I'm gonna take a smaller brush actually, and kind of just making the ends be a little bit more sharp, so there's a nice, like really nice cat eye. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend everything out together. So I'm doing the same thing on this side. Just taking my Kitco brush. I don't know what this is actually for, but I honestly love it for like doing like the waterline or smudging it, because it's a little bit fatter, so it's easier to like smoke things out. Okie dokie, so now that the eyes are basically done, I'm gonna take these off. That probably feels so good. You're like, oh, get that off me.
I can breathe.
I'm gonna take a little wipe and just clean up like any messes that I may have. And I'm gonna take, I always like to just like stretch out like a makeup wipe and go within the bottom waterline and just like kind of clean it up towards the end. So you guys can see there's like a little bit of like a messiness on the eyeshadow, but what you can do is, so you can just take a little powder. So like a little face powder. I'm using this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet, and I'm taking one that's gonna be like the same like color as like my brow bone. And whenever you take like a loose powder like this, it kind of like does the job of erasing and blending. So like if you ever like bring a dark shadow too high up, you can just like erase it with a powder like this. You don't want one that's darker than your skin tone, because that's just gonna make your lid darker. But by putting this on, this is gonna really help, just like kind of like, it's like a little like eraser. So now I'm gonna go ahead and curl her lashes and put mascara off camera, and I'll be right back. So the lashes I picked have like a little bit of a flare out. I just wanted to still show the eyeshadow, so I didn't want anything too dramatic. But if you can see the little difference. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, I always like to put on a little bit of a liner just on top of the lashes, just to like get rid of that little lash line. So I'm taking the One Size Point Made. This is for my friend Patrick Starr, I love him. If you guys wanna watch my video that I did of his makeup on his channel, go to his channel. Because I did a really smoky eye on Avani, I've learned in the past, like, you can't like do smoky eye, thick foundation, lips, everything. It just looks crazy. But I want to keep the skin pretty fresh now, so I'm going to be using, this is the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation. I'm going to mix two colors. She has a little bit more of a golden undertone to her, so I'm using Y227. I'm going to take 2 pumps of this. This is a really like light to medium coverage foundation. So, I mean, you have good skin already, so you don't need to cover too much. And I'm gonna take a little bit of R370 and just mix these two together. One has a little bit more of like a pinky undertone, but the other is more yellow. But I'm gonna take a little foundation brush and my blender and work my way from the center. Is that a good match? I think so. Mm-hmm. So this is like a really natural foundation. So I always want to work from the center, working my way to the perimeter. I just want to keep the skin as fresh and as natural today, just because I honestly, you have good skin, so you don't really need to do too much covering. I feel like when you do too much of everything, then it gets to be a lot and the look looks a bit too glam, like rather than like cool. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go for cool. So this foundation is like super hydrating, and like you can still see your pores. It's not covering everything too much, but it like covers just the right amount. Avani said that she has a really hard time matching her foundation, so she just doesn't wear foundation anymore, so she just gave up.
Yep. Both foundation and concealer. I can do my eyeshadow.
You do your eyeshadow and your brows now.
Yep, that's about it, honestly. You're going to have to send me those shades.
So honestly, that looks, let me show you. Like, it's like a really good match.
Oh yeah.
And it's like natural, right?
And it's not, because I don't like full coverage.
You know, yes, this is like a medium, like a light to medium coverage. Will you turn this way for me? I want to apply it with a brush first. I always find that like moving this foundation on with a brush first and then going in with the beauty blender is a lot better because you're able to like move the product where you want it first. Sometimes when you go straight on with a beauty blender, it makes the coverage a bit more heavy, but I want to go that light coverage. This is like that supermodel actress face. She said what? Okay, so now I'm gonna take a little bit of that Reboot foundation and just using a smaller blending brush, I'm gonna blend around the eyes and kind of work it into the eyeshadow. I don't wanna go too close because black can be very finicky, like you can have more fallout, but I'm gonna save that like closing blending time for the concealer. But for right now, I just wanna get the foundation in all the areas. Just doing a quick little cleanup. Okay, so now for contour, I'm using Huda Beauty's Tan Tour in the color Fair. So these are pretty dark, like Fair is like dark. But I'm gonna put a little bit onto the back of my palm because I don't wanna go directly onto the skin because these are very, I guess, pigmented, I guess. So I'm gonna go in and just place this right onto the hollows of the cheekbones and I'm just like really sculpting Avani's face. I put a little bit right underneath the chin and a little bit on the peak of the forehead. I'm going in like pressing motions. This is actually one of my brushes that isn't out yet. I don't know when I'm launching it, but soon to come. I'm just bringing back like dimension back into the Avani's face because we did put foundation on the whole entire face. But by putting dimensions, it's gonna add sculpture.
That's the word.
That's the word. And then I'm gonna take my little blender and just press the product in because I hate like when contour is too harsh. So I'm just gonna keep blending until the contour is gone. until that step was for nothing.
So you can no longer see it.
So actually, while she's waiting for me to get my shit together, she has like a video game on the back of her phone. Really it's crazy.
Yeah, there's like 38 games.
Oh my god. That obviously means she doesn't want to talk to anyone and play video games. Like, so now for concealer. So I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I'm gonna use two shades. One that is a little bit more of like a peach undertone. This is gonna cancel out any darkness. Obviously she doesn't have that much darkness, but I like mixing the two shades together, and I'm using, so that was 32.5 and this is 25, and this one is more for brightening. But I love these because like these are super creamy and they're not drying. So like I like to be able to set my concealer. I used to use like NARS creamy concealer a lot. I've been using this one and it's like super creamy and I like the color. I like a nice like little pinky tone under eye. I'm gonna put this down the bridge of the nose as well. And then putting it just like right onto like underneath the nose, a little bit onto the chin, and a little bit just like right on the peak of the forehead. I'm gonna actually slide this down there so it does a little lifting. We're trying to switch, right? So since this is like a medium coverage concealer, what I like to do is I like to take a little blending brush, and I always like to blend my concealer into the foundation before, like kind of just like go ahead and like pressing it into the skin with the beauty blender. I feel like I have a lot more control when I have like a small brush and really just bringing the light to where I want. I mainly use this, like she doesn't have any breakouts, so like I mainly use this concealer to like brighten because it's not like too heavy. So it's a really good like highlighting concealer. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply a little bit of the Matte Velvet Skin Powder. And I like to apply this just like right onto the area that I am going to bake. And this is gonna take away like any oilness, because like we want to look dewy and glowy, not oily. But I always like to kind of just like slightly powder. The reason why I like powdering beforehand, even though like it might look like there's a lot of powder on right now, I always like to powder beforehand and then bring back in the glow, because it just like allows like the photographs to look a lot nicer. It like wouldn't you agree, like powder just like kind of blurs everything out in photos?
Definitely.
So what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of powder just right down the bridge of the nose, and I'm just gonna do like a little highlighting. So for contour, I am going to take, so this is the DIOR contour Backstage palette. So I'm just gonna like swivel this brush into, this is a DIOR 16 brush. I'm gonna swivel all 3 shades together, and I'm gonna put this just like right into the hollows of the cheekbones. I'm trying to build a little bit of definition. I always like to go in patting motions when I am applying contour, because we like I haven't really like set the whole entire face with powder. So like sometimes when you put powder on top of like wet foundation, it can look a bit like muddy. So what you want to do is just go in pressing motions and just bringing in color where there is needed. And I'll go in again with the Beauty Blender and just to kind of melt all of the product into the skin. So, do you know who Makeup by Ariel is? Mm-hmm. So like I went to his masterclass for this Makeup Forever thing. That's why I love using them. But what he does is he puts this on before he bakes. And I don't know what it is about his makeup, even though his makeup looks like full coverage in photos, it's like really actually light in person. But I'm gonna mix these 2 colors here. So what I do in my makeup kit is, sorry, it's really dirty. What I do in my makeup kit is I like take them out of the pan and I just put them in one because it's like easier to transport. But I'm gonna put these 2 colors together and kind of just go in pressing motions right underneath the eyes. And this is really, again, gonna help blur the skin out underneath. And put a little bit just right under the chin. This actually acts as like a little brightener as well. Like for me, like maybe a year ago, I would have been like, oh, this is too much powder. I never really understood it. But when I took his like little master class, I was like, oh my God, powder is your friend. Life-changing. Maybe not in person, but powder is your friend for TV. Or if you are someone who gets photographed a lot, AKA you.
That's me.
That's me? Cute. Okay, so now I want to add a little bit of blush. Yay, time for my blush. So I want to use 2 colors. So we have She's Seductive and we also have She's So LA. Like they're very similar colors, but I love like colors that are more like mauve-y, bronzy, brown blushes, because I feel like sometimes blush can overtake the face when you're doing such a smoky eye. So I just really want to build off like the contour shade. So I'm gonna kind of mix the 2 together. And I like to go again, just in like patting motion, just bringing this to like the apples of the cheeks. And then we turn this way for me. And then I'm gonna take the Beauty Blender and kind of just press everything in. I always like kind of like layering, melt in, layering, melt in. Can you teach me like a beauty hack, please?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'll learn all mine from you. What do you mean?
So sometimes what I like to do is I'm gonna brighten back. Sometimes I put like too much blush. Like what you can do is just kind of brighten that back up by putting a little bit of a lighter powder. I'm using again these 2 colors and just blending it into the blush. You always want to like marry the 2 colors together. So I'm gonna finish off the eyes now. What I'm gonna do is take this that same color that we used on top. This is that gray. And I'm using, this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill brush. And I'm just gonna line this just right on the bottom lash line. What I'm gonna do now is take a little clean blending brush and kind of just like blend this into the under eye. Just so like that line isn't very harsh. Turn this way for me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit more of my black eyeliner and just put a little bit more into the waterline because I want it to be super dark. So whenever I'm putting a black eyeliner into the waterline, for this look, I'm making sure that it goes into like the inner corner tear duct because it's gonna like really elongate the eyes. So I'm gonna put a little bit of mascara just right onto the bottoms. Look up for me. Okay, so now time for some brows. I'm using Major Brow in the color Clear. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this into the brows. I know that you guys have seen me do the application for this in all my other videos. So if you guys wanna see the whole like detailed process, I'm just gonna apply this and give her that feathered brush. Now for lips, I'm gonna apply a little bit of She's Proud. And this is like a really nice like soft tone like brownie pink. But I always like to use a lip liner that isn't too dark whenever I do like a smoky eye because I want the focal point to be on the eyes, not the lips. Okay, and then for lipstick, I'm gonna be using, so this is my lip cream in the color She's Independent. She's Independent is probably like my favorite lip color. I always put this on you. So before we finish, I'm gonna bring back a little bit of the glow to the face. So I'm using, so this is my All Over Glow Bomb in the shade She's Glossy. What I like to do is put it onto the back of my palm with a little blender and applying this just like right onto the skin. This is gonna like bring a little bit of the glow back to life. Maybe down the bridge of the nose as well. And right onto the cheekbone as well. And then I'm just gonna set the face with a little bit of, so this is my Dewy Milk Mist. And just melt all of the powder and everything into the face so like the skin looks like skin. I'm gonna put a little bit of this onto the chest as well. Let me just right onto the décolleté. And if you ever get like put too much glow, then I'm just gonna take a little bit of like that powder and like powder just right in the areas that you don't want the glow. Cool, and I think we are done. Yay! Wait, actually, I want you to look. Can I get a mirror?
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Isn't the glowy pretty?
Yes. Oh, would you look at that? Perfect once again. It looks so good.
I love it.
I do that.
Yeah. She's gonna do the outro.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment, and hit the bell so that you get notified when I post a new video. And then your giveaway thingy that you want to say.
So I want you guys to recreate this look on Avani, and I want to do a giveaway, and I'm going to repost some of my favorite makeup looks on my next video. Tag me on Instagram at Patrick. Also tag Avani, and I will see you guys next time.